This is TV18 and you're watching CNBC TV18.
Arjun Rampal is a comeback man of Hindi films. After a delayed debut, a spate of flops and being written off as a non-actor, this former supermodel sprang back into the reckoning with hits like Om Shanti Om, Rajneeti and Rock On. Rock On even got the actor the National Award for Best Supporting Actor in 2008. The second phase of his career has seen Arjun evolve as a picky star who picks challenging roles in diverse directors, be it Madhur Bhandarkar, Sudhir Mishra or Sajid Khan. While his choices may not have all been commercially successful, Arjun seems comfortable in the space he's made for himself in Bollywood. Friday release Nikhil Advani's D-Day, a gritty action thriller, is a project that has him pretty excited, and post that he follows it up with Prakash Jha's Satyagraha. On the A-list today, Arjun Rampal is at his most candid best with Naomi Datta as he dishes out home truths about films, promotion and surviving Bollywood.
Arjun, thanks for being here.
It's lovely to be here, Naomi, and welcome back. It's been a while.
And it's good to meet up with you again. It's a busy couple of weeks for you. You have D-Day coming up and there'll be Satyagraha after a couple of weeks.
Right.
And that means a lot of promotion interviews. Is that the fun part of the job?
Well, some interviews are fun. Like I hope this one is.
I hope so too.
By the end of it, I'll let you know. But it is grueling. It is a taxing time for actors when they have to go out there, because it is a bit of an awkward situation where you're going and saying, come and watch me, come and watch my movie, we've done this and this is different and this is new and all of that, even though all those things do exist in your film. But then again, it is something which you cannot avoid, because today there are so many films that are being made and every weekend you have so many releases that how do you break that clutter and how do you get noticed in all that crowd is very, very important. So if you can do it, I think it really depends on the PR company. If they can do it in the right way and get the message out in the right way, then it can be a lot of fun as well, because it's a time where you can interact with your audiences, you can interact with your fans, you can talk about the experiences of your films, okay? But it just depends how it's all put together. So far, D-Day has been quite nice.
But really, how do you break the clutter? I mean, what is that one thing that you
keep
do
thinking.
which is different?
Like I really said that, you go and do these city visits. Now everybody wants to go and do these city visits, and I think that's a great idea. And it was fun for people to see maybe 3 years ago or 2 years ago, because it would happen rarely. It was not that today I go for a city visit, there's another team sitting with me on the same aircraft. Okay, people are fighting for seats on planes. It just becomes so there's one team there, the other team somewhere else. The press gets divided, and what are you going there and doing? Nothing. You're going to a mall and you're waving. Okay, you don't say anything about your movie. Then you do a radio visit, or you do a little press conference where you get to talk about your film, which can happen anywhere. You can write an interview and send it on mail and everybody gets to see it. You can shoot yourself at home and talk about your film and everybody gets to see it. Today it can go onto every platform. How do you do it different? And that's what I really want to do with D-Day, is because with D-Day you can say that content is king.
Absolutely.
For a film like this.
Yeah.
There's a thought that's gone behind it. There is, it's been executed in that manner that it was conceived in. And so what we want to do in these city visits, which should be unique, and I think we'll be the first ones to try it, is we're going to interact the audience wherever we go by showing them just a scene in a movie.
All right.
So say that's Irfan's favorite scene. Why is it your favorite scene? And what happened? So a discussion about that, so it's more interesting, and I hope people get more engaged, because if you're going to engage with people, then engage with them. Don't just go there and dance and throw CDs and wave and think you're a superstar and come back, because I don't think that really serves the purpose. Why would people want to come and watch this movie? Why do you go out there to promote? Let's not lose that. What do you want to sell about this film? And don't hide it. So show them. show them a clipping of your film. If they like it, they'll come and see it.
You're on Twitter,
Yeah.
and you know a lot of films and film stars are on social media, but it's also feedback without filters. Is that scary? Because you know when feedback comes to you via media channels like us, there's some kind of filter or some kind of restraint that comes in there. But this
Sure.
is feedback without any filter. So is
Yeah.
that scary as a public figure?
It's good. I think it's good. There are a lot of things you trash because it is trash, and trash you trash. But sometimes there is feedback where they say, "Man, I did not like that." You know, maybe I had a cigarette in my hand and I was standing with my kid, and somebody saw a photograph of that, okay, and said, "Why are you smoking next to your child?" I don't think you're sending out the right message to people. You are a public figure. You got to be a little more responsible on that level. Yes, I think that's good feedback. You know, if somebody turns around and says, you know, I did not like the ending of this film because why did you not take a stand or a choice? The film doesn't take a stand. It's good feedback, you know. So I like feedback like that. So there's lots of good that comes out of it. And yes, there is a lot of ugliness and there is a lot of trash, but then that you only will affect you and will hurt you if you see some truth in it. Somebody is negative to you, you have a direct message option. You can write them something, okay, and send it back to them saying like, it doesn't affect me what you're writing, but this is what I'm thinking about you, okay, through this, and I don't think that is nice for you, and I don't think you will get
Have you done
anywhere.
that?
Yes, of course. And I've changed and converted a lot of people like that because they have written back to me saying, thank you, you know, I know, and thank you for taking your time out to do that, you know, or they have just stopped following me, which is fine, or then they have, you know, stopped being so negative, and I've kind of changed their ways, but have an ego and would not accept it.
You're a Twitter evangelist.
Maybe.
But you know what? It can't also be transactional. Like you can't come on social media only to say, watch my film.
Yeah.
So you have to be there constantly. You have
Yeah.
to give them these...
And sometimes you really have nothing to say.
yeah.
You know, you really don't. So you end up putting stupid tweets in, and then you feel like a moron where you say, oh, I was in the bathroom and I fell down, or, you know, lunch was horrible, and, you know, I mean, 90% of actors abroad have people handling their Twitter
Social media
handles,
managers.
right? They have managers who are doing it and are writing that and are responding for them and are creating this image about these people on that level. I think what's nice about India is, and that's why Twitter has become so huge here, and I don't know why this show is about Twitter and why
No,
we are
we will
promoting
go-
Twitter.
we will go
This is
on.
about my film D-Day.
I mean, we will go on to D-Day.
Okay,
go
but
on.
still,
It's very lateral.
yeah, okay, so laterally speaking, what I feel is that at least we are personally doing it, you know, and I know we are. I think the kind of work that I've done in the recent, I'm very proud of. I would feel underrated and everything if the parts that today were being given to me were not, did not have any strength or did not have any, you know, power in them.
So coming to the film that
Yes,
we were
please.
going to
Thank
come,
you.
we were going to come to it. We were coming to D-Day.
Okay.
It's about 4 undercover agents who go to Karachi. That's a synopsis of it. Tell me, how difficult is it not to sort of demonize Pakistan?
Right.
You know, I mean, that's a fine balance. Did you all
Very
think
important.
of that?
Yeah, of course. No, it is not about Pakistan bashing, this film. And it's not about India bashing either, okay? I wouldn't do a film like that. I think the problem is that it's a political issue, okay? Isn't it uncanny that every time there's a big scam of 70,000 crores or whatever, okay, and a guy's getting caught and he's about to get nabbed, there's unrest at in Kashmir, you know, the bomb blast somewhere. I mean, it's always deviated, and you take Pakistan or you take terrorism and you take all these things as your excuses. I look at it like that. That's a conspiracy theory in my own head, but I see that happening and it can happen. Why can't it happen? Similarly, D-Day is a conspiracy theory. Could this have happened? Okay, can this happen, not happen? And it's the journey of these 4 people who go in there, and what happens to them? How do they function? How do they train? How are they going to do it? You know, and the operation is treated in a very, very realistic manner. It like when we were researching it, and Nikhil had brought down these raw agents for us to discuss that, does this look right to you? Would a mission like this happen like this?
Okay.
And they were like, where did you get all this information from? I mean, because if a mission like this had to happen, this is exactly how it would happen. And we all
it's
looked
not
at Nikhil and we were like, okay, Nikhil, if this movie doesn't work, join the Raw.
Yeah. So it's not like a filmy depiction of agents, not like we've had in recent times.
I wouldn't do that. You know, I'm dying to do a good action film. You're getting a great action director like Tom Strutter's on board, who's responsible for films like Dark Knight, Batman Begins, Inception, Blood Diamond, Tomb Raider, okay? And he's got all Christopher Nolan has promised he'll never work without this guy.
Yeah.
And Nikhil tells me, Arjun, this is the film and I'm going to get I was thinking of getting Tom Strutters on board, and I was like, no, he's really pushing it. Okay, jhoot bhi bolna, theek se bol jaye. So, and then he gets Tom Strutters, and I'm on IMDb, IMDb checking if this is really Tom Strutters or not, okay, through his mugshot.
Yeah.
And because I still can't believe it. But he was so thorough in his work and his research, you know, when he came on board. We were doing a $200 million project, okay, each one of them out there. I said, why would you do this film? He said, I really like the script. And I really think India is a wonderful market, but you guys have not been able to do it. So he's coming and working with our technicians. Okay, he's told us we'll do it in so much time. Okay, you've got so much time to finish all my work. But for that, your actors need to be very well prepared. So he said, okay, I have an Irfan who there's no problem with, and Arjun who no problem with. Arjun loves action, he would love to do it, you guys will get along really well. He comes, meets us, sees our physicalities, and we go into this training program. Now you're going into a training program, it is how you fight, okay? It is how, when you're being followed, you don't turn around and look to see if you're being followed like in a Hindi movie you would do. You know what I mean? And say, dan, 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 dan. And then, you know, koi picha kar raha hai mera. You know, and you'd say it also. You would go and stand in front of a window as a raw agent to see the reflection, to see what the movement is behind you. If you're in a closed environment like a restaurant, you'd pick up a spoon or something and, you know, you would see what's happening behind you. So it would be done very slickly. This was just the training. This was not choreography. This is just the training. Now, will we use it or we won't use it was dependent on him. When he came and he saw the location, he saw the set, and he said, okay, this is what we will use, and these are the elements. Now, I taught you that move. Now, this move you will use here, and this move you will use here, and this is how you will do it here. Because he uses what's around you as a part of the whole experience. You know, so I'm standing in this one room, and I've been disarmed and I have no weapons. And how do I make a newspaper into a weapon? Or if Irfan is weary about, he's got everybody locked up somewhere and he leaves the room and suddenly he stops. Now, this was not in the script, it's not written. But he suddenly stopped, he looked and he sees forks and knives and everything lying there, quickly picks them up and leaves. Because you've been trained and your mind has been conditioned to work like that. So that is the level of realism and detailing that Nikhil allowed us to go towards and to get into. Like people were asking me a simple thing like, can you do a character without research? Okay, and do it just spontaneously. And I think it's a bunch of jargon, okay, to just do something spontaneously, okay, because spontaneity comes from knowing your character really well. So if I had to say a line which had to make sense and work, which is not there in the script, or do an action that had to work, which was not there in written in the script, which you call spontaneously, it has to gel with the character, and that's when it will look good. And it won't look like it was spontaneous. It will look like it was written
in
there.
character.
Yeah, and it is that it was written for you there. And maybe the writer missed out on it, you know, but you felt it at that point in time, so you say it.
You know, Arjun, that was your approach to acting, and in spite of your national award and many other awards, do you still feel you're an underrated actor?
No, I don't think so. I don't think like that at all. You know, I think the kind of work that I've done in the recent, I'm very proud of, and I've really enjoyed the kind of work that I've done. I would feel underrated in everything if the parts that today were being given to me were not, did not have any strength or did not have any, power in them, or, were not challenging parts.
And when you're part of an ensemble cast, so to say, do you have to be a secure actor or an insecure actor?
A very secure actor.
Yeah.
Yeah. Especially when you have actors like Irfan Khan and Rishi Kapoor and Huma and Shruti Hassan also. And I think Nikhil's done such a fantastic job in bringing all these actors together. You really have a blast. If I don't like my movie, I will not promote it. And that even goes into my contract now.
Okay.
I cannot go and lie to the audience and tell them, come and watch this movie, because then what is my credibility?
So with this film, do you think Nikhil is finally making the film that he wants to make? He's following his instincts,
150.
not trying to second guess the audience. Oh,
Yeah, I don't think he's making a proposal.
Yeah.
I don't think he is trying to, be a pleaser. I think he's made it from his heart. He's been extremely honest. He's whatever he's promised, he's delivered to all of us as actors. And in terms of, the art direction, the cinematographer he got on board, the technicians he put together, the actors, the casting he put together, getting a Tom Strutters on board, going and shooting it on live locations. And he's really done it from a film that you have not seen his body of work have, because they've always been larger than life, those kind of movies. Okay, even though Kal Ho Na Ho, I would still say is more a slice of life kind of, the sensibility was there. But when I saw Chandni Chowk to China, I was like, dude, okay, and he would say that too. Okay. But he would also say that, okay, give that same crew to Prabhu Deva today with the same actors, what will he make? I said, yeah, but you are not Prabhu Deva. And that's what Nikhil is. And Nikhil is the director who makes films like this. And I think finally he came to a peace with himself, that he wants to say something and do something, okay, which he really truly believes in, and he's been able to do that, and I'm very proud of him. In fact, I have a lot of respect for him after the kind of film that he's pulled off today.
Okay, and like we were discussing, that sort of stems from trying to second guess the audience. As an actor, is that a mistake that you've made also? Not now,
like in
maybe.
what way?
You try to make something which you think
they're just going to please.
audience.
Yes. Every time I've done that, and every time I've made decisions like that, it's backfired on my face badly, like really, really badly. There are people who influence you to do certain films, and they say, "Yaar, ye project bahut acha hai. Okay, ye producer hai, ye hai, iski opening lag jayegi weekend ko," and all of that, and the audience snips it out like a dead rat. Okay, I mean they really do. Okay, and you cannot underestimate them. You cannot try to cheat them. And so there are certain things in these 12 years of my career that I've learned is, one, if I don't like my movie, I will not promote it. And that even goes into my contract now. Okay, because if it does not turn out the way and it doesn't satisfy me, I cannot go and lie to the audience and tell them, come and watch this movie, because then what is my credibility?
So you have a clause which says, I will not promote the movie if I don't like it?
Yes.
Okay.
I've just put it in because they all asked for 20 days of promotions, and I said, okay, fine, I'll give you 20 days. But what if it has been a nightmare of an experience and I've hated every bit of it? I don't want to see any of those jokers anymore in my life.
So that's a dead giveaway. The minute we don't see you doing promotion
you know
interviews,
what I've got to do.
So then D-Day we can look forward to.
You can look forward to for sure.
Okay, we were just talking about feedback. Within the industry, do you get objective feedback? Is it easy to get objective
It's impossible.
feedback? Impossible, no?
Yeah.
Do you give objective feedback to other films?
Some people, your opinions do not matter to. And sometimes when you're honest in this industry, it doesn't go down very well. So it's better not to.
You've got these couple of films coming up which are really interesting. You have a lot of stuff happening. How do you keep setting goals for yourself? Do you, at any stage, do you get complacent and say, okay, now enough?
No, it's not at all. I mean, you cannot get complacent. Okay, I think you keep working, and the job becomes, when I signed D-Day, was to make sure that I'm a contributor towards making the film that this director wants to go and make. So they're short-term goals. You don't make like 5 years from now, this is what I'm going to do, or this is what I'm going to do. I think as long as you're contributing and you're constantly giving, goals keep coming up. Okay, and they will keep coming up, because as an opportunity presents itself and you take it and you make it a reality, it becomes a goal.
And success, material or other things come into it? How would you define it?
Success, material, whatever. I don't know. I mean, success, yes, could reciprocate into material wealth, okay, which is great. Okay, I have no problems with making lots of money.
Yes, nobody
and but yes, it can also come by somebody really appreciating your creative work and your art form, which sometimes gets recognized maybe a little later, but it always converts itself into material success.
Always.
So as long as that's happening, I have no problems.
So hope that happens with D-Day. All sort of success comes your way with that. Thank you so much, Arjun.
Thank you.